Through Adversity. This is a book that you've been building up to. Can you tell us, how did you decide that this was the book you needed to write?
Well, it has to do with the circumstances around the world that were really influencing me in the beginning. I had an idea some years ago to write a book, but I didn't really have the energy or the focus to say I'll actually do it until I saw these news reports of what's happening to children around the world, like in war in Ukraine, but also the children in the classroom and how they're fearful to go to school because they might be blown up, during their history lesson. And also, I'm feeling for the parents who have to deal with going to these schools and identifying their children by their sneakers because that's the only thing left remaining of their child. And that really touched me. And then as I continued to watch the progress of reports about children and the high anxiety rates and depression and suicide, I began to notice that there were many reports in the newspaper about things like children as young as 2 waiting in emergency rooms for psychiatric care and having suicidal ideation, all the way to teenagers who are really having challenges. And sometimes there are no facilities for them for months. And so they just linger in no man's land in the emergency room. And then also, as I continued to listen, I realized that there's another group that's totally neglected, and they are the young adults. And that's been true forever because we expect our children in this society to grow up at 17. They're still children, but on their 18th birthday, they become adults automatically. And we expect them to act like adults and to know what to do. But the reality is their brains aren't fully developed until they're about 25 years old. So you can't just expect them in one day to leap into adulthood and to know what to do. So those are the groups of people I work with. I work with children, teens, and young adults, and have for 27 years. And so I'm particularly concerned about their welfare. And I know that the techniques I use in my programs are useful for children as young as 3 years old, to bring through their lifetimes. So I decided to write this book to show people that there's something they can do to help their children to grow, and also something in it for them as parents, and also healthcare professionals, coaches, or anybody who wants to read this book, because it has information about what you can do to help yourself to grow and to be resilient.